Hello guys, this is me, Judgement, here again, and first I want to apologize for not making any videos lately, but I've been quite busy playing Classic last couple of weeks, so that's why I haven't posted any videos, but that's hopefully gonna change now, and I'm gonna start posting stuff that I have been recording for the last couple of weeks. I've basically recorded everything that I've done, and also streamed a lot over at Twitch, so if you want to catch up on stuff that I do and what I've been doing and stuff like that, yeah, then you can just come and hop into my Twitch and have a look, right? So this video is going to be our first Molten Core run, which happened a couple of days ago or last week, and it was a decent run overall. I was fully prepared. I had stacked up on lots of consumables and farmed most of my previous gear as well. So I was ready, and I think it went quite well. So I have cut out all the boss fights in this video, so I won't show you all the trash and delays and stuff like that while we got the quintessences and stuff like that. So it's just gonna be the boss fights and me talking a little bit about the fights and how my performance was, so to speak, and if I think it met up with my expectations or not. So yeah, as you can see here, I got a lot of pummelers, I got shadow oil, I got mana potions, fire water, arcane elixirs. Basically got brute force. I got basically all the consumables, right? I even have elixir of shadow power and dragon breath chili. And I also enchanted the crowd pummelers with the iron counterweight for some little bit of extra attack speed. So that was I really went over the top with this one, and of course I also had Flask of Supreme Power, which I will use for the boss fights, right? So that will give a nice DPS boost. And when it comes to the gear for this run, I went full spell power as much as I could. So I've been farming previous, and I've basically tried to collect as much different gear as possible, both spell power, AP and hybrid gear. And if you're not super familiar with all the different gear sets, so there's basically 3 gear sets you can use right now if you're a Retribution Paladin. You can either use the standard, like the normal ret that's always been around, right? The AP, it's called what I call the AP ret, or your standard ret, or whatever you want to call it. And you just stack strength and crit and agility, and you get the attack power from that, right? So AP ret stands for attack power ret. And in my opinion, that is a little bit inferior right now to the other versions, which are hybrid and spell power ret, or Spelladin. So the hybrid set is a mix between the AP ret and the spell power ret. So the goal for the hybrid is to get approximately 150 spell power, and then you get as much crit and strength or AP as possible after that fact. And you want to try to get up to 20% crit. It's really hard unless you go to full pre-biz, but as close to 20% crit as possible and 150 spell power. And then you have the full Spelladin set, which is basically just as much spell power as you can, and you don't really care about crit or hit or strength or stuff like that. So you're basically all out on the spell power. So how these specs or builds work differently is that with the normal AP, you use Seal of Command with the slow two-handers, as you usually do. With the hybrid build, you can actually do either or. You can either go Seal of Command with the slow two-hander, or you can go a fast two-hander with Seal of Righteousness. And then for bosses, you use the Crowd Pummeler, right? And if you're using the full Spelladin set, you use Crowd Pummeler for bosses, and you use either a fast one-handed or a fast two-hander with Seal of Righteousness for trash and non-boss fights. So yeah, basically there's three different builds you can go for right now, and I have tried to, as I said, collect gear for all the builds, and I got quite good both hybrid and Spelladin gear, but I'm still missing a few pieces from the normal AP set, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna go like super hardcore trying to get them, because I prefer the hybrid and the full Spelladin, and I think they are better and they will give better DPS as well in raids, so that is what I'm going to put my focus on. Yeah, so for this raid I went full spell power, and I'm using the two-handed weapon Brain Hacker, which is the fastest two-handed weapon you can get. Well, there are a couple of other which are the same speed, but you can't get any two-handed that's faster than the Brain Hacker except for the Crowd Pummeler. So I'm using Brain Hacker for all the trash, and I'm also swapping it on boss fights when the Crowd Pummeler is out of charges. So that is what I'm doing, and I'm using Seal of Righteousness, of course, as you can see here on the trash. So for the trash, you're not super, I mean the damage you do on trash is not super high. As you can see, I don't really show up on the meters a lot during the trash fights, because I mean, like the big thing with this whole Spelladin build is the Crowd Pummeler. It basically makes or breaks the build, right? As you will see on the bosses later on, if I'm allowed to spoil a little bit, the performance will be a lot better, especially. So, I mean, you can still do decent, like on trash and in dungeons and stuff like that, as a full Spelladin. But the big thing comes from the Crowd Pummeler and the damage that it provides. So, don't expect to top any meters in like dungeons and on trash and stuff like that. But you will still do decent. Alright, so we got to the first boss, Lucifron. We're just about to pull here, so let's go, see how it goes, right? So the first thing off, I have the Crowd Pummeler activated from the beginning, and we're killing the ads, right? But I'm holding off a little bit with using the first charge, because I was a little bit unsure how long it would take, because to kill the ads and stuff like that. So I really wanted to be able to use the Crowd Pummeler as much as possible on the boss. But I activated the first charge there. As you can see, there's like a bald human guy. Is the buff called in the upper right corner there under the Crowd Pummeler. It's like it's like the invisibility spell icon. And then you just keep going ham, you know. Make sure you refresh the Crowd Pummeler buff as soon as it's out. And then you just judge on cooldown, consecration on cooldown, and you just smack down the boss. And as you can see on the DPS meter, I'm actually doing quite well here on this first fight. And I'm keeping the MCP buff up, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of time on it still when the boss is going down. So one MCP lasted basically the whole fight, which was really nice. So I'm gonna end up at like 7th place or something like this, right? 7th or 8th place, I think, and there's still a few seconds left. So that was really nice first boss, and yeah, my guilds were quite surprised that I got so high. So yeah, that was a really nice first fight, I have to say. And now we go to the second boss, basically the same thing, Magmador. Really good fight for us, single target, no swapping between any ads or anything like that. Just smack the boss and hope that you don't get feared too much or die in the fire, right? So I just I just hold off a few seconds with the buff so I don't get like too much aggro in the beginning, right? And then I just use the standard rotation and smack the boss. So yeah, not really much going on, just doing the standard rotation, making sure not to stay in the fire and stuff like that. And yeah, as you can see, I'm like in the middle, but I'm starting to climb now in the meters. So I'm climbing more and more in the meter right now. with the consistent damage of the crowd pummeler. So I'm just making sure I'm not doing anything wrong, just keeping up the rotation. As you can see, I'm climbing, taking all the... So basically there's 2 rogues which are really good geared, which is above me, and basically I'm my 3rd place right now. And I had to bubble that fear because yeah, I had no fear ward and I didn't want to lose damage, right? So I just bubbled the fear so I could keep going. Bubble the fear, remove the bubble effect. No. So you just keep going, nuking the boss as much as you can. So right now I'm in my 3rd place and I'm starting to get like a bit advantage as well over the 4th place. So this is really good. I'm feeling really good right here. I'm like, yeah, I got the 3rd spot solid right now. This is so fucking good, and I get feared in the last fucking second. Unless you can, if you look at the meter right now, this mage behind me just gets a few good frost bolts in and takes my place just before the bosses die. And I end up at 4th place, which was still really fucking amazing in my opinion. This is the best boss fight for the meter for me, and I could have done better if the boss had died a little bit faster, or if I maybe had another fear ward or something. But yeah, really good fighter. And then we are hopping into the next one immediately, Gehennas. So yeah, same with like basically the same kind of fight as Lucifer. You have 2 ads first and then you nuke the boss. I have the MCP ready. Just going in, waiting a little bit for the tank to get the initial aggro. Then I just pop the MCP right there. Start smacking the boss, smacking the ad. Dies really fast, takes the next ad. So as you can see, I'm quite good on the meter here as well, with the MCP from the beginning, right? So basically the rogues are so high because they use like... They have so much cooldown, so they can use Blade Flurry, I think. Maybe they hit both the ads or something. But they're just really good. But then just, yeah, now just basically tank us back here until the boss dies. Try not to die in the fire. Yeah, I'm doing quite well, as you can see on this boss fight as well. Basically the only rogues and 1 hunter just beating me right now. 1 mage got pretty good there. But yeah, I ended up at like 5th place or something like that. Really nice, in my opinion, actually. I was quite far behind, of course, the rogues there, but compared to everyone else, a really nice fight also for me. Jumping straight into the Gar fight. So we were a little bit unsure about how to do this fight, right? Because we didn't know exactly the mechanics, if the ads would explode if we nuke the boss or stuff like that. So this fight is gonna change a lot until next week, because you can actually just kill the boss and the ads won't explode. But we didn't know that, so we were just yeah, we're just gonna kill the ads one by one, which is kinda bad, right, for me, because I have to run back and forth all the time like this, and I can't really use the crowd pummeler when killing the ads very good, because there's just gonna be so much downtime between the ads, and they are all banished. You're gonna hit like banished targets, and yeah. So this, but as you can see in the meter, is still pretty good, right? But this fight is just quite annoying for everybody else as well with the slow debuff. So you basically, if you want to do max DPS, you basically have to cleanse yourself every time you get the slow debuff. That's really good for you as Paladin though, because the rogues and the warriors can't cleanse themselves. And the healers are not going to cleanse this debuff on everyone all the time. So if you just cleanse the debuff on yourself all the time, you will get a huge advantage over all the other melee. But that means you're going to go so you're either going to have to save a little bit on using your other spells, right? Or something like that. But yeah, we just keep picking the ads off one by one, and then we get the call to go on the boss when there's like a few ads left. and as you can see, I'm I'm like up there with all the mages. So now I pop the crowd pummeler, right? Start going ham on the boss. I just try to cleanse the debuff, but I'm gonna go in this fight. So the problem is why I'm gonna drop a little bit on the meters in this fight as it go on, is that I'm gonna go like hell in the end, and I'm not gonna have mana potion or demonic rune left because I already used both of those. So I was really good on the meters for a while there, but I'm starting to drop off now, I think, towards the end of the fight. So yeah, up at 4th place right now, 4th, 5th place. It's good. They're dropped like a lot of places though. Yeah, it's going back and forth. I mean, I'm pretty happy with like being like this, right? I mean, I never expected to like get 1st place or anything like that on boss fights, but it's still possible, I think, if at least on some fights. But I mean, yeah, I'm at like 3rd, 4th right now. But I think I go yeah, I'm pretty much completely right now, here in the end, which is, so if I had a little bit more mana, I could have kept a few places there. I lost a few places right at the end. So I mean, I still think that is pretty good, right? Like, what's that, like 6th place or something like that? Quite good, really good. And then we have Baron Geddon, right? Which is one of the worst fights for melee overall, because you have to run out all the time when he does the fire thing, and if you're unlucky you might also get the bomb, right? And you're gonna lose a lot of time DPSing. So basically if you get the bomb, you're out of the fight, right, for DPS. And if you're a melee, you don't really have a shot either anyway, because you have to run out of the fire. So yeah, using a crowd pummeler for this boss, I'm doing it because I thought that, well, I might as well try, right? But I'm not sure if it's gonna be worth it, right? So just go in and I pop it basically immediately, and then he does the fire, right? So I have to run out immediately, like just a few seconds after I popped it. Now I just have to stay here and waste my MCP, right? So yeah, probably just gonna skip MCP on this boss and ignore the damage. Like, as I said, this is not a melee fight, right? So you can't be good on all the bosses. So yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do next time. I'm thinking of that maybe if you really want, you could like bubble the first fire, right? So you can like stay in and DPS, and then you just remove the bubble when there's like 1 or 2 ticks left, because you can survive that, no problem. Then you can DPS like the full first MCP buff. So that might be something you could do, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. But yeah, as you can see, this is a mage fight. All the mages are on top. So yeah, not much going on here. So really bad fight for melee overall. So yeah, bubble here in the end, as you can see, but should have done it in the beginning instead. And then we have Shastra, which was a pretty good fight for me, if I remember correctly. We'll see soon. So yeah, if you want, you can use like an arcane protection potion on this fight. I didn't have one because I basically forgot it. So that could help you like dying or not moving away from the arcane explosion. But I didn't move away from it a single time this fight, and it was fine. The healers managed to keep us up and decurse properly, so yeah. And I mean, this boss pretty much dies really fast as well, right? So yeah, and you have bubble as your like escape in case you know that the next explosion is gonna kill you, and you don't have any heals incoming, so you should be fine on this fight just by nuking the boss pretty much all the time. So just to go in, wait a couple of seconds, pop the MCP like normal, right? Just go ahead. And as you can see, there is one row which is completely blowing out everybody else, but then I'm keeping up pretty well. I'm in the top right there, and he blinks away, so I lose quite a bit of damage, but I mean he threat resets as well, I think, when he blinks, so you can't just keep nuking him instantly, because then you will get aggro and die basically. But yeah, this fight is really short, so you really need to make sure you blow everything you have to do as much damage as possible. But yeah, as you can see, I'm doing pretty well on this fight as well. I'm in the top there, like top 5, 6, something like that, which I'm really happy with, getting those kind of places on many bosses. So yeah, really nice short fight for melees, but yeah, good overall. And yeah, then we have Sulfuron Harbinger here. This fight, basically you should just cleave all the ads down with the boss, but as it was our first MC, we didn't really know if we could do that, so we're gonna single target the ads one by one first. I don't know if that's better or worse for us, for the total DPS or not. I think it's probably better, because we don't have the same amount of AoE like other classes have, because basically the only thing we have is consecration, right? So if we were to just cleave all the ads down, I think we would get a much worse result. But right, for this fight at least we're gonna single target them down. So yeah, the MCP is really bad for this fight as well. So I didn't actually use an MCP for this fight at all, because it would be too much downtime, so I'm just using the brain hacker this fight, like normal. But I'm still gonna get a decent ranking on this fight, even though I'm only using the brain hacker. But I'm not sure exactly why, if people were holding off because of how we dealt with the ads, or if I just did good anyway. I'm not sure actually. But yeah, our ad management here is quite bad. It takes too long to deal properly with the ads. So yeah, we just kill 2 ads single, and then we take those 2 together. And on to the boss. So yeah, even if you don't use the crowd pummeler, the rotation is basically just the same, right? Judge on cooldown, consecration on cooldown, down rank consecration if you have mana problems. Yeah, make sure you stand behind the boss. So I'm gonna also make a video later with down rank and consecration and seal of righteousness and stuff like that, because I did some tests yesterday, and just like to report my findings so you know which ranks you should use and stuff like that, because there is quite a big difference between rank 1, 3, 8 and 1, 3, 5 on consecration. But yeah, I managed to take some spots actually here in the end in this fight as well, even with the brain hacker, so I don't get a terrible placing, right? I mean, I end up like a 10th place or something like that, but it's not that bad. I mean, I expected without the crowd pummeler I would get like last place or something, but I even beat mages and stuff like that, warriors in this. So yeah, as you can see, that was interesting, but maybe it was just a bad fight for everybody, I don't know. So yeah, now we're pulling Golem here. So the problem with this fight is that I actually forgot to equip the manual crowd pummeler. So like a few seconds into the fight I noticed this, so I'm like, should I swap the crowd pummeler now? But then I like decide not to do it. So my DPS on this fight is gonna be really bad, because I'm just using the brain hacker the whole fight. So yeah, not really much to say about this fight. It could be a really good fight for us if you do it correctly right and use the brain hack, or use the crowd pummeler. But with the brain hack you don't really stand a chance. Yeah, that is pretty much it. Yeah, nothing to say about the fight, just tank his bank right, and if in the end when your stacks gets too high or when it does the AoE thing, you can just bubble to avoid that. So you can basically keep DPSing the whole fight, you don't have to worry about the debuffs and stuff like that. So yeah, I was hoping to get a good place on this boss, but without the MCP, no real damage, at least not on a single target with bosses like this. And yeah, since we had a little break before this boss to getting dowses and stuff like that, my flask also ran out before this. So yeah, I lost quite a lot of spell power from doing that. So as you can see, I basically ended up at last place, but even though beat a couple of warlocks. And yeah, as you can see there as well, the obsidian edged blade drops from this boss, which was really nice. And yeah, red P on that one. So congratulations to myself for a really cool and quite good weapon. And I'm gonna use the obsidian edged blade in my hybrid spec, which I will go over in the next video that I will make concerning all the builds, which I have probably already mentioned several times this video. Yeah, as you can see, a really good looking sword. So I'm very happy getting that so early on. And yeah, then we have the Majordomo Fight with all the ads. So this is also kind of a weird fight, right? You just kill one ad after another. But I decided to go with the crowd pummeler for this fight as well, because I had quite a few left. Well, I had a few left, so I know that I would have enough for Ragnaros as well. So I decided to use it for this fight. So as this fight will start soon, you will see that I'm actually going to die in this fight, which made me really sad, because I was really high on the damage meter. Unfortunately, I have clicked something on the damage meter, so you can't actually see the damage meter right here, which is of course really unfortunate. But I was actually very high up in the end before I died. I was like 3rd or 4th place. And actually there is another clip I will link in the description or something like that, maybe, from another point of view, where you will see right now when the ass is dead. I'm not sure what we're gonna attack, so someone says just attack green or something like that, because I don't know what to target. So I attack green, I get aggro and I die. So that was really unfortunate actually. Yeah. So if I didn't die there and I could continue, I could have gotten a really good solid place. Yeah, there you can see I was really high up on the meter, but then I'm gonna start falling off now when I'm dying, when I'm dead. So yeah, that could have been a really good fight as well. And yeah, then we arrive at the last fight, Mr. Ragnaros himself. So yeah, this is also a weird fight because we're not sure about the timer. We were not sure about the timers on the knockback in the melee camp. So I was just going out on a limb and just guessing when I needed to move out. We had some indication, but not very accurate. So yeah, I'm gonna get knocked away a couple of times in this fight, and I actually will die in the end as well. In like the last knockout, I get a knock and like a fire blast at the same time. So yeah, as this last fight is gonna take a little while, I'm just gonna recap a little bit over the whole MC run. So overall it was a really good run, I think, for me, and it really showed some promising results for the SPELLADIN build. I had basically top 10 on all the fights, except for the ones that were extremely melee unfriendly, and the Golemag, of course, where I basically forgot to equip the crowd pummeler, right, so didn't do any damage at all, basically. Otherwise, I think Golemag could be a really good fight for us as well, so we'll see about that next week. And yeah, I got Obsidian Edge Blade from Golemag as well, which was really nice. And as I'm making this video, I've started to play a little bit more in the hybrid build using the Obsidian Edge Blade. So I will make another video about yeah, like the different specs, right? Or I keep saying different specs, but it's the same spec, it's just the different builds. I'm talking about the AP Ret, Hybrid Ret and SPELLADIN Ret, right? So right now I'm leaning more towards the hybrid build, and I'm using Obsidian Edge Blade with command, and then you use crowd pummelers for bosses and stuff like that. But yeah, so this fight is unwrapping, right, and I'm smacking him with the crowd pummeler. But yeah, you know, I have to move out every now and then to watch the fire blast, to watch the knockback. But yeah, it was a really nice MC run, and I think that next week I'm gonna do even better, because now I know exactly what I need to do on all the fights in order to like make the most out of the MCP usage, to like yeah, you know, where to use the MCP, how to use the MCP, and stuff to avoid not to die, and just get better uptime on the bosses and stuff like that. Also here on the rag fight, depending on how good your DPS is, if you manage to kill him before the submerge, you can only use 1 MCP, right? But if you have bad DPS or people die early, you can actually use the double MCP, which I'm gonna use in this fight, because when he's submerged, you can just swap into a new MCP, and then the 30-second cooldown will basically, while you kill the ads, right, you have the 30-second cooldown on the next MCP, so you can just keep smacking him again with the new MCP when he comes back. It might be a little bit waste, right, but if you really wanna min-max, you could do that. So yeah, a lot of people died, right? So we didn't manage to kill him before the submerge, but we were really close. So right now I'm just swapping the MCP so I can use it again. The problem with these ads though is that they mana burn and stuff like that. So I went in and I lost all my mana and everything, which was kind of stupid actually. So it's not really any point in you trying to attack these ads. But if your guild is decent and people don't die early, you shouldn't really get to the ad phase, right? You should kill him before the submerge anyway. So yeah, just try to avoid the ads if you're a paladin. So just waiting for Ragnar to come back to finish him off. Unfortunately I will get, there isn't really any healers left, right, and they are healing the tanks only. So I'm gonna get a knockback here and die up in the air. But yeah, I popped everything and I just started to nuke as much as I could in the end. But here, yeah, as you can see, I'm at like 1 HP, no mana, not getting any heals. Yeah, okay, I did get 1 heal there. But then smack, dead. Yeah, and then he dies like a few seconds later. And that was our first MC run. And of course, as a little bonus, of course, the loot from Ragnaros. Can you guess what? Yeah, I'm sure you can guess it, because if you're watching this video, you probably heard it already. The fucking Eye of Sulfuras dropped, and you know it. It's Ret Prior on that shit. So yeah, I got the Eye of Sulfuras. First MC run, how sick is that? Quite nice. So yeah, just finishing off here, looking at the total DPS meter for the whole raid. I got 11th place for like all the bosses, all the trash, everything, like in like total. So yeah, I'm quite happy about that. As you can see, I beat all the warlocks, I beat all the warriors even, and some mages, some rogues as well. So yeah, a really solid performance, and this just shows a great potential for Spelladin, in my opinion. And I hope to do even better next week. So that is going to be this Sunday. We're going MC again, and I'm gonna be fully prepared again, even more prepared than I was last time. So yeah, hopefully we can do even better results then. So So yeah, so if you're thinking about playing Spelladin, yeah, well, this video hopefully showed you that it has some potential and you can do some great damage in MC at least. So yeah, hope you like it, and there's going to be more videos coming soon. I'm going to do one video very soon, like hopefully in a couple of next days, where I will go over my gear and like a character update and stuff like that. And I will include in that video, of course, all these different builds, right? The AP, the hybrid, and the Spelladin, and what build you should be going for, and what they are good for, and how you should play them generally, like basically like a basic level of just play style and seals and stuff like that. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and good luck leveling, good luck in dungeons, good luck in MC, whatever you're doing, good luck in World PvP, and I'll see you next time.